Welcome to the Green Wasp Removal YouTube channel. In this episode, we return to the Morris Observatory as we continue training and mentoring the Manchester University Wasp Team, this time to remove a Yellowjacket nest from the soffit of the classroom building adjacent to the actual observatory structure. This was a Vespula germanica nest, or a German Yellowjacket nest, and it was very active with forager wasps constantly coming and going, so the first phase of the job was swarm control, collecting the adult foragers for Venom Immunotherapy, or VIT. The team rigged up dual collection bottles to one vacuum system to make the collection phase as efficient as possible. Then they began removing soffit pieces to hunt down the nest brood comb. We soon discovered a well-developed Vespula germanica nest hidden inside a soffit cavity. The nest contained all the life stages of the wasp, from eggs, larvae, pupae to adult wasps, and it was well into its early growth stage. The team removed the entire nest without damaging it, and they placed it into a temporary transport container to keep it safe until relocation. The nest was in such good condition during removal that we decided to use this one as a specimen for relocation so we could observe it throughout the season as it grew. As you can see here, the nest was in really good shape and had a bunch of adults with it to help support it in a free-range environment, so we knew this one would probably do well. We'll show you how we flash freeze the adult wasps in the field using dry ice to preserve their venom at the highest quality possible for use in VIT. And then we'll show you how we relocate the nest brood comb into a free-range incubation box made from an old horizontal beehive. This is where we can monitor it for the season and collect more adult wasps as they hatch out of the nest. This type of free-range environment tends to keep the wasp nest a little healthier and more like it is in nature compared to captive environments. A couple weeks later, we brought the team back to take a look at the nests they had removed from the observatory class building, and they got to see how well it had been doing in its relocated environment. They got to see how the wasps will reattach the nest to the wood around it, so it's now solidly attached to the corner of this interior box. And we'll show you some footage of wasps up close building the paper covering around the brood comb of the nest and how they do this. It's a really interesting process where they mix wood fiber that they collect out in the wild with saliva that they produce, and as you see here, they simply squeeze their mandibles together along the edge of the paper, and this expands out the putty that they make from this wood fiber into a new strip of paper. And depending on the source of the wood, it might be dark wood, it might be greenish, it might be brown, it might be gray or almost white, depending on what type of wood or plant material they're using. This creates the rainbow effect of strips of different colors covering this entire nest. It was a beautiful nest, and they were doing a great job rebuilding it. Wasps are amazing engineers, and we'll show you some of that footage close up. Then we'll show you how we start doing regular collections from the front of the incubation box. We simply put the collection bottle right up to the opening, and we get an easy collection. For now, let's take you back to July 23rd of 2025, and we'll show you the entire job from beginning to end. Thanks for being here with us. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment to let us know you're there. Enjoy the show. It's July 23rd, 2025, and we're here at Morris Observatory, which is part of the MU campus. And the observatory is going into a rehab project this year, which will make that observatory functional again, which is great. I'm here with Colleen and Coco and Katie and Elise from the Manchester University Wasp Team. And today we're going to work on a Yellowjacket nest that's up in the soffit of the classroom part of this structure over here. So you guys ready? Let's hit it. They're walking through safety checks because today we're going after, it looks like German Yellowjackets. That's Vespula germanica, an invasive species here in the States. It came over from Eurasia, got really established, mostly they think in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and now they're kind of ubiquitous everywhere. Very active foragers. They compete pretty heavily with native wasps. So we're gonna have to take this nest out of the soffit today. So the dual rig, this one here, we'll have somebody on a ladder working this one. It's about a 10-foot hose, so we'll bring it over so you have enough space to get up. This one, of course, you can extend right here, and we can work from the ground on that one at the entry point. So we'll start collecting the foragers right away as we're doing the soffit work. And then once we get close enough, we'll get the second rig up in there and kind of work the nest. First thing we're doing here is we're going to repair a little bit of a rip we have, and the reason we have this piece on is because we have holes drilled in it, and from that you can adjust pressure on a vac that has no adjustable pressure. You can simply adjust it. It looks like that, and you can tape them up or untape them as needed to allow pressure to come and go and increase or decrease. So what we have here is just sort of a relatively bad connection because we don't have the right adapter to cover that. All right, so we have this special rig done, and now we're going to start just collecting foragers. So when you guys are ready, we're going to turn it on. The first thing we're going to do is just check pressure, make sure we're not killing them as they're coming in. So let's see how it goes. If they're getting too beat up in there, we're going to have to reduce pressure. All right, here we go. Our first customers are coming in. So Katie, let me know what you think about pressure on this one, because this one may need some adjustment. I haven't tried adjusting it yet. So just stay in one spot and they should come to you. And you can pick them off if they're just rambling around like that, just nail them. So as they're flying in, keep it steady. So we're underway with our first part of the extraction, which is always swarm control. We just want to catch as many of these foragers as we can and just kind of reduce the chaos we're going to get when we open it up. So that's the plan here. We have 2 vacs going. How's the pressure feel on that one? Feeling okay? Okay, let me know if you're not getting any. You can always crank it up. Just stay nice and stable there as they come in and start grouping up around there. You get them all. Because they can't help but explore what's new. They have to reorient every time, and that's what they're doing. They're orienting, trying to figure this out. And as they do that, they will eventually explore that hole and get sucked right up. Have you seen any getting past us? Okay. It looks like we have good pressure. It looks like we have a good location. So we'll just keep this up for about 5 minutes, at least maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and open it up. Sound good?
So with the sound of the vacuum, a lot of the dialogue in the field got drowned out. So we're going to tell you here what we're discussing. What we see here is a lot of foraging behavior. There's a lot of food being brought back to the nest, and most of that food is pest insects that the foragers hunt in the wild and bring back to feed the larvae. And German Yellowjackets are very high population nests most of the time. This nest happens to be in its earlier stages, but there's a lot of food coming in. So as we go through this early stage of the collection, we're just knocking down forager populations and those that come out to attack. Anything that's flying around the entry point of the nest to and fro, we're going to get those collected in these collection devices. And we collect them as live specimens. So the idea here is we try to reduce the pressure on the vacuum so that as they get sucked into the collection bottle, they don't get knocked around too much in there. Ideally, if they try to fly, they can bounce around a little bit in there, but they don't get beat up. They're just moving inside the space of the bottle, as you see them do here. And they can walk comfortably on the inside of the plastic, and they can hang on to the interior shaft. In this early phase of the collection, we just have to keep them alive long enough until we can flash freeze them to preserve their venom.
Collection's going well already. You can see how active it is. And what do we have? Probably under 5 minutes, it's already filling up. So they're busy. Yeah, both sides are already getting plenty of action. So we'll just keep this going for maybe 5-10 minutes. So everybody watch your step today, because we've got hoses all over the place, and I just don't want anybody getting hurt, so everybody look out. So this dual rig system seems to be working pretty well, and we run it on electric right now because on a job like this, running the battery-powered one can be a little challenging. So it's nice to have electric power. We have this plugged in through a exterior outlet, which makes things simple for us. You see how they reorient when you change up their front door. They have to reorient visually and try to figure out what's happening. First of all, they have to figure out if this is their house. If this is their house, they have to figure out if this is a threat. And if it is a threat, can it be attacked? So they go through all of these steps of thinking, and then they start going back to it, and that's when we get them.
So the behavior you see here with the wasps is called reorientation. Wasps orient visually to get back home. So when you put something in front of their front door that they're not used to seeing, they have to think about that for a while and figure out what this is and if it's a threat and how to get back into the nest around these obstacles. And during that process, they get collected.
And part of what's great about this location is the university has a little native prairie here. There's a cabin down there that they utilize, and it's surrounded by native prairie. And this wildflower garden and pollinator garden is fantastic for the ecosystem, but it also brings a lot of wasps that are invasive also, which you can't control. It's certainly worth having the native prairie here, but it does attract all species. All right, let's change up the pole, give everybody a cycle through. Everybody on the ground, mind your neck. Try to keep a fairly neutral position so you don't tweak your neck working all day. How's it going up there, Katie? That side working okay for pressure? Looks great. So you'll notice, unlike Eastern Yellowjackets, we're messing with their door very heavily, yet they're not coming down. Not one of them has tried to attack any of us, correct? That is simply because they're German Yellowjackets. If these were Eastern, they'd be bombing us. Same with Southern Yellowjackets.
So we do see a distinct difference between the species of wasps that we collect as far as their defensiveness, their level of aggression when they are disturbed. German Yellowjackets are some of the most docile of all Yellowjackets. They will still attack you, but they will be a whole lot less aggressive than Eastern Yellowjackets or Southern Yellowjackets, for example. So it's always nice to work with German Yellowjackets because they simply don't cling onto your suit and try to sting the heck out of you the entire time that you're working. This makes everything a little safer for the team and a little safer for any bystanders in the area.
It's a good spot. Just stay in one spot and let them drop right in. So far I don't see none getting past you. And go into phase 2 here, which will be the beginning of the dismantling of the soffit. I'll have you guys step down. I'll go up and start trying to open soffit while you guys continue vacuuming. I'm going to move this ladder over to the other side, I think. Okay, so what we're going to do, looks like we're going to have to bend it a little bit. Pop some nails. One here, and one here. We'll pop those to give us access.
There's nails on this side too.
Okay. It could be in here too, you never know. Maybe they're right here. So we'll take a look and peek in there. But first we need some access points, so we'll do that first.
So here we're removing soffit. Obviously we're fast forwarding this a little bit, but we're explaining to the team how to remove soffit in a way that damages it to the least amount. You're going to damage it a little bit. This old soffit is old metal soffit cover that was installed many decades ago. And because of this, it's going to take some damage, but you have to save the nails and try not to rip it up and just do your best. With initial soffit removal, you're just trying to get a hole that you can look through with a camera device to find the nest and try to reduce the amount of soffit you have to remove. So here you see we're just inserting a camera trying to get imagery on the interior of the soffit. Sometimes we can see the footage live on the screen of like a cell phone camera, for example. Other times we'll use a scope cam, and we'll just attempt to remove the least number of pieces of soffit as we navigate through this space, trying to find out where the nest could be, whether it's in the actual soffit or whether it's above that somehow.
All right, so we opened up the soffit here, and as you can see, there's a large board space right here in the corner. And that space may be where they're living up inside that board, or they could be behind a wall, or they could be right here in this soffit bay, and we're hoping they're right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove some of these cross supports, and then we're going to pull the soffit on this box, and maybe we'll get lucky and find them right here.
So we're just explaining to the team members who have not done soffit yet that this is a very delicate process, and you do as little damage to the building as you can while getting as much information as you can about where the nest is or is not.
Just kind of gently pull it out. Watch your step and your balance on the ladder. And once you get the nail free, put it right in the nail bin right up on top of the ladder. Hold on to that nail with your glove as it comes out. There you go.
Nice.
And then pop that nail right in there so you can use it again.
Good pro.
Now, gently pull away the side of that soffit. Let's see what's in there.
Paper just fell out.
Okay.
Good sign. Lots of paper.
Another piece of wood.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll remove more of it in a minute. Let me jump up there and we'll get that started. And then we'll have you climb back up and finish. Thank you.
This old structure we found to be pretty unique because there was a lot of cement inside a lot of the soffit spaces.
So up here is all cement. Unusual. It's like a cement board kind of construction. And there's holes in the back here. You go all the way down. We don't see any nest activity that way, but we'll check again when we have more access. This is also rebar and cement. Did not expect that. That's interesting. So there must be some type of hole they're going up into through here. So we're going to explore further this way. And that's why we couldn't see much when we put this up. It looks like they're going to be over here. So let's keep going on the exploration on that side.
So once we got the soffit removed, we realized the soffit had been covering some significant cement damage up there.
Up here is a giant degraded bunch of cement and rebar. Looks like they're going up and back there. But I'm going to take the camera and look up here first. Yeah, there's nothing in the lower soffit. At least up until this point, they're not here. So they must be going higher up in here. Let's see if we can find them. Oh, there we go. Got them. You guys see that? We got them. Yeah, can you see that on the screen?
Yeah.
So we got the nest. So what we're going to do is pull this piece, make room, and then we'll contain the whole nest.
It's not back in.
Luckily, we lucked out. It's right here.
That's great. It was really something.
Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
So we got them.
Nice size.
Watch your eyes. All this is debris that's going to come down.
What's that from? The sound.
Let me take that for a sec. All right, so we found our nest.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
All right, I think what I'll have you guys do is climb up here and use the backs to get them sucked up as many as you can. You see how these guys are just looking out their door? Totally different than maculifrons and southern yellowjackets. So I'm gonna have you guys come up here and start reducing the numbers, okay? Be careful of the tools on top of the ladder. I don't want these to come down and hit anybody, so I'm gonna move them. Okay, try to get there without damaging the nest, but take whatever you can. Get right underneath the, right there is good. Now, when you guys will climb up and agitate them, Coco, when you climb up there, agitate the nest a little bit so you can get them to come out. Just tap it with your glove. Just give it a tap, it's okay.
It's okay, you can use your hand. Yeah, I guess so.
Tap it in as they come out, try to collect them.
And move it more under. It's hot.
There you go. Just get what you can as they come out, and then we'll just pull the nest.
Here, I'm gonna grab this, James.
Okay. Get that pin ready. We'll have Coco cut it here in a minute.
Okay, right down here whenever you get it.
All right, Coco, when you're ready, you can cut away the back part of it first, and then the top.
This one won't budge.
That's okay, no worries. Climb right up there and slide it in from the side. You can move the hose, it's okay. Cut it away from the side, and then once the side is completely removed, you'll do the same to the top, and then just gently set it in the bin. There you go. Try to get the other side first and then the top. Great. All right, now what you're going to do is cut the top and then just get all these. There you go. You suck them right off the nest. You can be pretty aggressive about it. All right, Coco, when you're ready, go for it. Cut the top, drop the nest right in where Elise is holding it here. You can just gently hold it like the head of cabbage, you know, and just set it right in the bin once it's clean. There you go. Nice. Looks great. You got it. All right, now we'll do the foraging collection. Just get your things up there and hold them, the collection devices in one place, and just let them come back and reorient. Good job, Coco. That's the way to do it. Lower it down to where their entry hole was and leave it right there. There you go. Just keep it right there until they come back and explore it.
Yeah, maybe once we get somebody that just maybe not active, we can come back and do it.
At least let's take a look at that nest. Bring it on over. There you go. Look at that. Looks fantastic. We'll be able to incubate that whole brood comb in captivity and collect it later. Yeah, this looks great. You can see some pupae in there. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Yeah, they might. Let's go dig it out. They might have some more there. It might be an old nest. You never know. Just a second. I think I'll step up for a second, try to scrape that out, just see what's there. It's probably just a little bit of paper, maybe an inch or two, hopefully. There's some hiding back there. Hand me a screwdriver, please. I'm gonna have to remove this piece and just try to pull it a little bit, maybe. Thanks. So let's see what's in here. Yeah, just a couple inches of paper hiding back there. Let's put that with the nest. There's a few trying to run for it back here, but there's not much space they can go into. In a few minutes with no foragers, so the team's going to go ahead and cap off what we have here.
Good.
Got him?
Katie's not ready with us.
All right, Katie. Here, let me help you with that. You got it? Okay. Good. Let's see what's in there. Well, we got a few now. Looks good. All right, make quick work of that one. Good job, guys. I like that double vac technique. That's pretty cool.
This is a well-built
Hey, that looks great.
huh? Yeah.
You see any more foragers?
No.
Awesome. Small nest, still getting started, but man, that would have been a huge one by the end of the summer, into the fall. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is replace the soffit, try to rebuild this a little bit, but the first thing we're gonna do is spray down this area with a little essential oil and soap and water mix. And that's what we have here in the bucket, so we're gonna use that next. How's it looking there?
Got a good amount of them still in between the...
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully the queen's in there. I'm just gonna relocate that one and let it pupate out naturally in the wild over on a different property. And I've got a special incubation box. It's set up outside so that they can continue to forage. And they can leave, the nest stays inside the box while they keep coming in and out. You don't want this stuff in your face or your lungs or your eyes, you know. It's not toxic, but you want to be not breathing it because it can be dangerous to your lungs or your eyes. All right, let's have you come up here.
Someone might have to lift the bucket.
Yeah, I'll lift the bucket while you're on the ladder. All right, looks like you got it set. Okay. All right, so you can hold this up. When she gets up the ladder, hold it just like this. Okay. So watch your eyes. Coco, step this way so you're out of the spray. Come on over this way. All the way back. There you go. That's good. All right, don't go too crazy, but just enough to get it all wet down just a little bit. That's probably good. And then we'll move your ladder to the next side. Yeah. Okay. So this spray has dish soap and water, and also clove, lemongrass, and peppermint oil. That's what we're applying here, and that just blows away some of their pheromone, so it's a less attractive place for other wasps to come and live now that this nest is out. Go right up in that cement hole area. If you can get up through that metal grill. Yeah, go way up in there if you can, just a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good to me. You don't want to go too nuts because you don't want to stain up the building too bad, but they'll be repainting all this anyway, I'm sure. All right, that works for now. Now we'll close it up. Okay, so in here we have a Polystius fuscatus nest. Looks like they're building a double or triple layer there maybe. So we're gonna just pick that up and contain it right now. One fell down inside, okay. So they're just teeny little starters is what we're pulling out of here. And the adults on the nest are just flying around because it's inaccessible. We don't really have a good way to grab it out of here. So there's a few here that we can net up or just grab, you know, and put into the container. So that's what we'll do. All right, you see them flying? Yeah. Okay, try to net a few as you can.
Will someone put this back up on this table?
Sure. You got it? Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is like this. You take your net and continually fly it back and forth here for a little bit. And then whenever it comes into range, boom, you got them. And in the meantime, the other one can't get out. You can just keep it moving like that. All right, let's see where that other one ended up. We captured multiple paper wasps, and there's one netted here, so we're going to get that one in the container. There you go. Put it right down. Keep going until the net's flat on the top. There you go. And then you can manipulate it. Typically, you want to try to use a clear container so that they'll climb toward the light when you turn it upside down. But this will work. There you go. Okay, so let's have you guys take these in the sun where they're nice and active. We can see them. All right, so good job, guys. We have a nice collection here today of German Yellowjackets collected from the eaves soffit. And we have the nest in here to incubate back at the lab so we can incubate out all of those pupae. In these containers, they went in and collected a bunch of the paper wasps from the observatory as well. That's great. So nice work, everybody. Any questions on this type of removal, the soffit spaces? Well, good job today. I appreciate you. We'll see you today later on at the paper wasps. So we're closing up the soffit now just to get everything put back together. And we have removed this yellowjacket nest. And there doesn't appear to be a single forager left anywhere in this environment. So that one's a done deal for today. And now we're just kind of replacing soffit pieces, which is always a little tricky. But you do what you can to get it back into one piece with whatever materials you can get that'll hold up. And for us, that's just some wood screws, and that'll do the job. That's a wrap for today. So here we have our yellow jackets. We're going to put them in the dry ice and freeze them. This will preserve their venom. And this is CO2 dry ice. You can't touch dry ice for very long with your hands or it'll burn you, but you can touch it quickly as you see here without any problem. But if you hold it for any length of time, it'll burn you like a hot coal. It's July 23rd, 2025. And here's our Vespula germanica nest that we removed from the soffit bays of the observatory classroom building. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this today into an old beehive horizontal style. And this one is unused yet. So we're going to use this as a wasp habitat throughout wasp season. So let's take a look inside there. So we set it up for beehives, but no bees moved in. So we're just going to remove the long bars and we'll put our wasp nest right in here. We'll just put these into storage and maybe we'll use them next season in the early spring when bees are swarming before wasps come out. But for now, we're going to convert this into an incubation box for wasps. So we cleared out all of the frames and the top bars in this old beehive, and now it's empty. The inner cover is here. And now that it's empty, we can put our wasp nests in here. And we're just going to use this as a wasp incubation box as part of the Vespula here. And we'll see how this German Yellowjacket nest does. You see how they've all gone into the nest because it was kind of hot where I put them. And now we're going to open it up. Just going to gently set the nest in here, in the corner, oriented the way it was. There, you see they've settled down already. They've just gone back onto the nest. And pretty soon they'll realize they can get out right there. There's a front door for them right there. So maybe the easiest thing to do is to move it back here so that it's not immediately in the corner. And they will re-find their nest if we shut this down here. Okay, they're starting to come over and figure it out. Okay, we'll check in with them later. July 28th, 2025. Just doing an update on the germanica nest. So far, it seems to be doing fine. We've been seeing foragers coming and going, which makes it appear as though this nest is active. So we're going to take a look at it today and do some collecting. We've got the vac here, and we'll just reduce the population a little bit. So here's the germanica nest. Looks like it's been rebuilt and attached to the wall. As you can see, they replaced all the broken paper, and it appears to be pretty well secured to the corner. This is where they exit from. They seem to be ignoring the second half, but this one's doing just fine. Not a bad collection for a few minutes at the incubated nest. So this long hive seems to be doing a good job as a nest incubator. The relocated nests do well in there. August 2nd, 2025. Just taking a look at how our wasp colony is doing here. They seem to be doing fine. You see them adding some paper to it here. She works her way so carefully along that line of paper, molding it with the saliva she produces, turning the wood fiber into a putty. And this is kind of a brown colored wood, so it will make brown strips like you see here on some of the other parts of the nest. When they use greener wood or grayer wood, the strip will be those colors. But it's a beautiful nest. Absolutely beautiful colors. They've done a good job re-securing it right to the sides of this old hive. And you see where they come in is down here, and they walk this way into this entrance. It appears to be their main entrance. So we let them keep building. Just such beautiful colors. August 10th, 2025, and we're here to check on the vespiary. We're going to look in this nesting box, which is an old beehive that's being used right now as a incubation box for German Yellowjackets. So let's see how our nest is doing. There, it's getting quite large. That's great. So far it's done really well in relocation. So we're just going to let it go back to what it was doing. But it's in very good shape. You tell the difference between German Yellowjackets and Eastern Yellowjacket or Southern Yellowjacket. If we did this with Southern Yellowjackets, they would immediately attack every part of the suit. Gloves, face, body, veil, you name it. But you can see where their entry point is here at the front of the hive, and they walk straight back. Beautiful paper. They're doing an excellent job rebuilding. You can see many of them here working. You see how they have many strips of green, along with grays and browns and tans and creams, but there's always some green in the germanica nest, it seems. Okay, let's close them up. Weeks ago, we had a observatory wasp removal over at the campus observatory, and we took them out of the observatory itself, and we also took a germanica nest out of the classroom building eaves. That germanica nest was small at the time. Now we have put it into this incubation box, which is an old beehive. I'm going to give this to you for a second. We're going to use that in a minute. Here it is.
Oh, wow.
So put that green stick right here and brace it in that green.
Ooh.
Now, take a look at this. These guys are building like crazy. As you come in here, look at the paper building. This one has grown. This is definitely grown. Now take a look at this one. You see how they're building paper?
Yeah.
Right along the edges. I just interrupted. Oh, here's one. See how she's building the paper right there?
Yeah.
She's just chewing and chewing the wood fiber, and she's laying it along each one of these curves. But you see how they reconnect the paper against whatever you put them in? And that's what they're doing in the glass in one of the habitats over there. Now, notice that germanica, they're not attacking. They're confused. They will attack if you have skin exposed, but they don't go nuts like maculifrons would be all over me right now if I opened up their space. Germanica just doesn't do that. They're not attacking the gloves. They're not on my veil. Totally different reaction. That's a part of the germanica. And notice in the germanica paper, you've got more green bands in there than you will ever see in maculifrons or now flavipilosa. There's just a little bit more green in these nests than there is in the very light tan brown maculifrons. And this paper is a little stronger. You can touch it and it doesn't immediately crush. Whereas with maculifrons, very light tan, and the second you touch it, it just crumbles. It's very crisp, where this is a little tougher. So that's the difference between German and a lot of the Eastern Yellowjacket nests.
That 7th Street property, we saw the paper and was like, this doesn't look like Germanica paper. And now looking at this again, it was very different.
It looks quite different, yeah, it really does. So once you get an idea of what these nests look like in the wild, it's pretty obvious when you find them. And here's this wasp. I love when they start building like this. They're oblivious to you, because their job in their hive role, their status is to build nests. And right now that's her job. She's not going to go out and attack. She's not going to go forage. She's busy building. And they each have their role like that.
So that's it for today's episode. Thanks for riding along with us. Have a good one.